What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing? It's your boy D Saul again. It's Credit Repair Hacks Live. Today, we're going to be talking all about hard inquiries. Hard inquiries being reported on your credit score is a bad thing, right? So, what we want to do is limit the amount of hard inquiries, and quite literally, if you have a lot, I'll show you how to get them off. If you have a lot already, tune in. I'll tell you a quick step, quick secret way that I use to get all of my clients hard inquiries deleted from off their credit report. Tap in. Okay, so the first thing we'll talk about is hard inquiries. What is a hard inquiry that you may ask? So a hard inquiry is nothing more than anytime you apply for new credit. It could be a car loan. It can be, you're applying for a mortgage loan, a credit card. Any of those things, when you have to use your social security number, leaves a hard inquiry on your credit report. So basically, anytime an attempt to look at your credit file take place and you authorize it, that is a hard inquiry. So you want to be careful now. You want to be very careful about how many times you let someone run your credit. You never want to use your social security number to apply for much credit. Now, I always give the advice, hey, if you have a credit card, right, here's a video about that, right? Get a credit card, apply for a credit card, a credit limit increase, right? So this could boost your credit score, but other than that, don't apply for many things, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Okay, so hard inquiries alone account for about 10% of your credit score, okay? So that means the credit score that you see, 10% of it is, how much you apply for new credit, how many times you apply for credit cards and things of that nature, right? So you want to limit how many times you do that since it has that effect on your credit score. There are two forms of inquiries, right? Right. The reason why I mentioned the credit card or the credit limit increase earlier is because you can actually apply for a credit limit increase without affecting your credit score, right? And I'll tell you the difference, right? So you have two different types of inquiries. You have what we call a hard inquiry. You have a soft inquiry, sometimes referred to as hard pulls or soft pulls. Now, soft inquiries, these are promo entries. Lenders use this for solicitation. They use this for, account reviews, things of that nature. Anytime you see those new credit card offers in the mail, hey, you've been pre-approved, new MasterCard, Visa, whatever, those are usually soft inquiries. Those lenders do not have to have your authorization to run your information for those types of inquiries. But here's the thing, they do not affect your credit score if it's facilitation. Those are called soft inquiries or soft pulls. Now, the inquiries that you actually apply for something for, like a car loan, student loan, if you do the Parent Plus loan, credit cards, things like that, when you authorize it, when you say, hey, give me this, give me that, and you apply with your social security number, this is a hard inquiry. And these are the ones that affect your credit score. Hard inquiries can stay on your credit report for up to 2 years, right? So if you see a hard inquiry on your credit report that was reported in more than 2 years ago, then you definitely want to dispute that. Hard inquiries be careful applying for things. Now, it's things that we want. You want to buy a new car, you want to buy a new house, those things are fine, right? But the thing is, when you apply for too many, it looks bad to creditors because it's like, hey, if I extend this credit to this person, right, they have an history of applying for more credit, tomorrow or next month, right? So the chances of them paying me back on this credit card is less likely because they may get hella more credit card debt over here with these other different companies because they apply for so many things at once. So that's why we want to limit how many of those hard inquiries on our credit report, because when we apply for that new car or when we do apply for that new house that we really want, we want our credit report to be a representation of how we really want things, right? We really want it to look neat. We really want it to be, suitable for when lenders see they make a decision to ultimately approve us. So with that being said, on hard inquiries, like I said, you will apply for things. There are things that you need to apply for, but let's keep them to a minimum. So let's try to keep hard inquiries to about, the average, the person with an average 800 credit score or better, their inquiries typically are around 1 to 3 every 6 months, which means they have no more than 6 to 12 inquiries for a whole year. Okay, now, so we'll get to the good stuff. I'll get to telling you how we can get those hard inquiries removed with a process that I use with a lot of my clients, a lot of my do-it-yourself credit repair clients. They use this hard inquiry letter to the T, man. I mean, quite literally, we're asking for the credit bureaus to do something. If they're not able to do it, they have to remove those hard inquiries that's reported in our credit report. Before we get to that, we'll talk about that a little later. I'll tell you about the law. Now, the FCRA, which is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, they protect us against all of these hard inquiries. They protect us against, people putting things on our credit report that's not true, right? The law actually states that we actually deserve the right to have a fair and accurate, 100% accurate credit report. So credit bureaus have to verify all of the information on our credit reports before they put it on our credit report. So here's the thing, credit bureaus don't do that. I mean, if they get something from a creditor, they're just gonna go ahead and slap it on that credit report a lot of the times. No verification needed because they are basically banking on the average consumer doesn't even look at their credit report, right? So why extend so many of their resources to basically verify something? They have to pay for those things. They have to pay millage or whatever, at a high level if they, mail what we'll talk about a little later, LexisNexis, verification of a certain account, right? That costs them money. So they are not going to do that every single time, and we're going to take advantage of that, and I'll tell you about that. But basically, the FCRA has a law, the 607A law, that basically says credit bureaus have to verify all information on our credit reports. They have to verify everything, and you have the right as a consumer to force that, right? So since they don't do it by themselves in the first place, you can step in what we call a dispute, right? This is the formal process of telling the credit bureau, hey, what you're reporting is not correct, or hey, what you're reporting, prove to me that it's correct. And by law, they have 30 days to verify that information, right? They either have to remove it off your credit report or they have to send you proof. They have to send you verifiable proof that this item does supposed to be on your credit report. So you got your 3 credit bureaus. You got TransUnion, you got Equifax, and you have Experian. All right. These credit bureaus are the ones responsible for reporting things on your credit report, right? Here's the big thing, right? If you issue a dispute to them, they rely on a company called LexisNexis to verify the accuracy of that dispute, okay? So here's how we're gonna get them. Credit bureaus have to verify all of their information them, right? Okay, so let's back up a little bit, right? LexisNexis is also a consumer reporting agency, so that means they have to abide by those same FCRA rules, which credit bureaus usually go through them to verify the information. So here's how we're gonna get them. We're gonna freeze our social security number with LexisNexis. That's right, we're gonna freeze our social security number with LexisNexis, so when the credit bureaus reach out to them trying to verify our dispute, they can't, right, without our written permission because we froze our credit. So just like when you freeze your credit from the credit bureaus, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, when you freeze your social security number with them, when you apply for a credit card and that credit card reaches out to the credit bureaus to verify whether you can get an account, the credit bureaus are unable to verify, right, because you froze your credit, right? You froze your social security number, right? We're just gonna do the same exact thing to the credit bureaus by freezing our social security number with the company that they use to verify information. It's the same thing, it's just reverse psychology, right? So before we send the dispute letters off, what I want you guys to do, the very first step, is to freeze your credit with LexisNexis, right? Go to it's sagestreamllc.com, right? You'll see it right there. It shows freeze your credit or something like that. You click on freeze your credit, and from there it'll direct you directly to LexisNexis, and on LexisNexis is where you freeze your credit score. And you can do all of this online, right? I'm actually gonna post. I'm gonna post in my bio in the description a link so you'll see exactly how to do it. How to do it. It's a free webinar that you can use. It'll take you directly through all of these steps that I'm going to mention today. So remember earlier when I was talking about the 607A, right? What we're going to do there is we're going to go directly to the Fair Credit Reporting app and screenshot it, right? I don't care. Snap a picture if you got a MacBook. Take a screenshot. If you got your iPhone, take a screenshot of it. Keep it. Put it somewhere safe because we're going to use this with our dispute letter. All right, now, so before we dispute, there's a couple of things that we need about the hard inquiry. And there's two real important things. You need to know exactly how it's listed on your credit report. So that's the exact spelling, the exact count number if they have it, all of that. You want to get it. You want to basically copy and paste it directly how it's reported on an official credit report. You want to be careful with Credit Karma because they don't show you all of the things you need to be able to do this dispute that I'm going to show you. So get a copy of your FICO report. Any copy of your FICO report should give you everything you need. And this is more than just hard inquiries. If you want to dispute collection accounts and repossessions, Credit Karma is not going to show you what you need. First of all, Credit Karma doesn't even show all three bureaus. They only show two. So from there, you won't have all information you need for successful disputes. If you've been disputing based on looking at your Credit Karma account, then that's probably why you can't get much results because they don't show much. But anyway, you want to get a FICO report. And I'll drop a link in the description. You can get all three bureaus for only $1. But the two things that you want to get off that FICO report, you want to get the date that the hard inquiry was authorized, and you want to go get how it's spelled on the credit report, right? You can usually, if you get it on your computer or on your phone, you can, copy and paste it so you'll directly have it on your letter, right? That's what we'll do. That's the second step. And from there, you're pretty much good. You're pretty much good. You got the copy, that screenshot of the FCRA, right? Now you're going to take your dispute letter, right? Just basically say anything along the lines of, hey, by law, you're supposed to verify every account on my credit report or every hard inquiry on my credit report. Please verify immediately. Show me the verification or delete this account immediately, right? That's what you put in your letter, right? You put, certain credit laws, FCRA codes. You can put that in your dispute letter. Make sure you include your name, your social security number, your date of birth. Well, you don't have to put your whole social security number. Just put your last four digits of your social security number. Also put, your current mailing address. Put your current mailing address, the address that you receive mail. Put that on your letter because that's where they'll try to verify your information. And once they see that that's a match, they'll be required to that those 30 days that they have to respond to your dispute, they'll send it to that address. So that's very important. Now, if they see your current address is one address and on your ID is another address, then they probably try to do a stall tactic and say, hey, show us additional proof. If you just sent out a dispute and you got a letter basically asking for you to show additional identification, that's a stall tactic that credit bureaus use, right? So to eliminate all of the stall tactics, what I always suggest doing is sending 3 forms of ID. That's 2 forms of your address. Again, we want to put our current address, our address where we can prove where we live at. That can be on your driver's license. That could be on a utility bill. That could be on, a cable bill, phone bill, anything that shows your full name and your current address on there. Use 2 forms of that and 1 form of Social Security verification, right? That can be your Social Security card. That could be a tax return that shows your name and your Social Security number. It could also be a W-2, long as it has your name and your Social Security number. That proves that Social Security number belongs to you. Get those 3 forms of ID, send those with your letter. Now, if you need a sample template of a dispute letter, I have one in the description. I have one in my bio. You can get that. Everything is already pre-written for you. Only thing you have to do is include your name. You include your address and each inquiry on your credit report. And remember, you can go get all of your hard inquiries on that on the FICO report that I mentioned earlier. It's with My Score IQ. Here you see where it literally shows you, they show you the hard inquiry here. This is the name. This is exactly how it's spelled. And also right here, you see the date that it was authorized. So you just take both of those things, put it on the dispute letter, and send it out. In 30 days, you should see those things get deleted. Remember to freeze your credit with SageStreamLLC.com. They'll take you to LexisNexis. Freeze your credit with LexisNexis first. So when they go to try to verify that dispute, once they receive your dispute letter, they can't do it. And another thing, send it certified mail, right? So you'll have a tracking number. That tracking number will be able to prove that they receive your letter, right? You'll be able to put in that tracking number from your certified receipt and see that it says delivered, right? And if they don't delete those credit inquiries or those hard inquiries within 30 days and don't send you verification of the proof, you have proof that they got it on this day. That's all you need to send an additional dispute letter and say, hey, you had 30 days to dispute these and did it. Or you can file a complaint with the Consumer Financial Bureau. You got all the proof you need and it can get deleted. But before all of that, I mean, credit, they look at these hard inquiries. There's so many of them. So many people won't do it. They'll just take their chances on go ahead and delete them. They won't even worry about it. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, it takes a lot of resources. They have to actually spend money to do this verification process. So that alone, will they see a dispute letter with 20, 25 hard inquiries and they have to validate all of them from millions of people across the country, man. They'll just go ahead and delete it, right? If they don't have the verification already, they're not going to fight back and forth and spend all of that money on a hard inquiry. They'll just go ahead and delete it. So send those dispute letters out and you'll be good, man. Clean those hard inquiries off your credit report so you can go get that new house, that new dream home that you want. You can go and get that new car that you've been praying for, man. You got it, right? Just take a few steps and get those hard inquiries off. Get those negative derogatory items off your credit report so you can start getting some of those things that you be wanting. It's right there, man. We've all done it, right? Like I tell people, a lot of people know my story. I took my 500 credit score to over 800. And literally that was because I just took the small steps. I started disputing my accounts the ways that I teach people every day now. I started paying my credit cards down. I started getting the right credit builders, and all of it happened for me. And if it happened for me, it can happen for you. So get that, man. I got a do-it-yourself credit repair kit. You can go in, you can use all of the letters that I have. You have unlimited access to each letter, each round of the credit bureau letters, direct letters to collection agencies, all of that. You'll have access to it. Check that out. All of this is in my bio, from the FICO report to this do-it-yourself credit. If you don't even want to just have a credit repair plan and you just need certain letters, maybe you just want a pay for delete letter, all of that will be in the link in the description. Check that out, man, and leave a comment. Let me know what y'all want me to tell y'all how to do next, whether that's bankruptcies, repossessions, right? I'll show y'all how to get repossessions off, medical collections. Just let me know. Leave a comment below. I'll drop that. We gonna get our credit scores above 700 to the 800s, get the 850, and get all the things we want. Until the next time, Credit Repair Hacks Live. This your boy D Saul. Peace. Holla.